For me, I completely took a leap of faith. And I think when God plants something inside of you, eventually, no matter how much you try to ignore it or go down different paths, it's eventually going to tug at you enough where it gets your attention and you can't ignore it anymore. I did. Ever since I was about 5 years old, I saw myself being an entertainer. I used to watch Janet Jackson music videos. I would record them. That was when VCRs were still in. I would record her videos and learn the routines, and I would give acceptance speeches in the living room by myself. I've always dreamed of this. I actually, my stylist at the time was working in the costume department, and she got me a job as a PA at Tyler Perry Studios, and I just continued to work my way up. And that wasn't even why I wanted the job. I was actually pursuing acting and music at the time, and I just wanted to work around what I wanted to do. And some kind of way, costuming and costume design fell into my lap. You know what my favorite part about Natalie is? One, I grew up in the church. So it was fun getting to play a new first lady, a modern day first lady, but also getting to sing because a lot of people didn't know that I could sing. Back in 2012, I put an EP out, and actually the photographer who shot this shoot did my EP cover, Alan Cooley. And a lot of people, if you know me, you know, but if you didn't know, they're like, wait, she sings too? Well, I started off as a PA at Tyler Perry Studios, and then I became the background costumer. I became a key costumer, and then I took a break. I was actually working on a production outside of Tyler Perry Studios with, it was called Sleepless Nights, starring Jamie Foxx, T.I., and Gabrielle Union. And I got a call, and they're like, hey, Tyler wants you to costume design the next set of shows. And at that point, I was starting to get callbacks for auditions, and I was like, oof, like, casting directors know who I am. Do I stop doing what I'm doing to go style Tyler, or actually to costume design at first? And then I prayed about it, and I was like, God, just order my steps. This is what I'm supposed to do. Then let me know that, because for me, I just wanted to be creative. And I ended up taking the job as costume designer, and not long after that, I ended up being Tyler's stylist. You know what? A lot of times we don't understand the journey as it's happening in real time. And we're constantly like, God, why are you taking me down this path? What's the lesson in this? Being around Tyler for those 5 years, that close to him as his personal stylist, I learned how to handle myself in the position that I'm in now. As a celebrity, I know how to handle fame. I know how to find balance in the life. I know how to handle my finances and my business. And I can say I wouldn't have known these things, or I wouldn't be ahead of the game like I am if I didn't have that time to be basically a little shadow to Tyler, So I'm grateful for that time, and those are some of the most valuable things I've learned from him. But something that has stuck out that I'll always carry with me, after season 3, we were filming season 3 of Sisters, and he called me and he said, Crystal, I never want you to forget where you came from. He was like, don't forget what it was like to put people's shoes on, to work behind the scenes, because that's what's going to take you farther. Because a lot of times people don't understand what it takes to make a production happen. And because I had that insight, he said, just make sure that you don't let things get to your head and you're going to go far. For me, I completely took a leap of faith. And I think when God plants something inside of you, eventually, no matter how much you try to ignore it or go down different paths, it's eventually going to tug at you enough where it gets your attention and you can't ignore it anymore. And for me, moving to Atlanta was just that. I moved here. I did not have a job. I just had a savings from when I was working on Capitol Hill, and I was like, you know what? I'm just going to go after my dreams. And a lot of times I know in my industry, family members don't really, they're like, that's not a safe job. You sure that's what you want to do? And your family wants the best for you. They always want you to play it safe. But I feel like our industry is full of risk takers. And if anybody has that dream to be in the entertainment business, just go for it. You can't listen to what other people say, and you also have to be ready for a million no's. But if it's for you, it will happen. And I know that sounds cliche, but it's so true. Like, literally, it took 10 years for me to get to where I am. So people don't see that. They're like, where did this girl come from? But I moved here in 2009, and it wasn't until 2019 that Sisters was greenlit and that I got my first shot. You know what? When it comes to working hard and doing a job that you know is not for you, you have to find and make an exit plan. You know, because I believe in doing your passion. I believe in living out your purpose. And a lot of times we get stuck in what we feel is safe or what we feel is going to pay the bills, and we're not happy. I believe in being happy with your life and doing what you love. And when you do that, it doesn't feel like work anymore. So I would tell someone who is not happy with what they're doing to find an exit plan, be smart about it. Don't just up and quit your job like I did, because it was hard. But find an exit plan and just strategize and work towards that. It'll take some grinding to kind of balance the two while you're trying to get out of what you're doing that you don't like. But I think once you make that transition, you'll be really happy. Working behind the scenes was already stressful. A lot of people think that what it takes to make a movie or a show happen is just super easy. We're dressed up and we're putting makeup on and playing in hair, and it's so much more logistics that go into it. And it's really a lot of brain work and brain power and teamwork that goes into making all this happen. And on the other side, being in front of the camera, I deal with, I haven't really talked about this much, but I've started to deal with anxiety more. And because I'm in such a light that I wasn't used to. And finding that time to check in with yourself, taking the morning to meditate, spend time with God, pray, get in the Word, you know, to find that balance, because you can get swept up in this world so easy. And I think that for anyone who is trying to do it, just be prepared for that, because I was like, I don't have anxiety, I'm good. Like, I look at people like, I'm just so strong, like, oh man, I'm so lucky I don't have to deal with that. And then probably like a month ago, I had my first anxiety attack, and I was like, whoa. Because we get so used to suppressing things, we get so used to being like, I'm tough, I just gotta push through, and that's like the black thing. We've had to learn to just push through everything, but everything comes to a head at some point, and you have to learn to deal with that. So I think for me, it's finding the balance to really take time for myself. Yeah, you know what? It's trial and error. You know, you have to see what your audience likes. And some of the things that I like to do, they're like, oh, that's cool, but we like when you do your hair, we like when you do your makeup, we like when you do interior design things. So find that niche and the things that your audience likes and stick to that. And I promise you, they're gonna ride with you for sure. Just be original. I love keeping up with makeup trends. I'm always on YouTube trying to see what the latest eye makeup is, or trying new colors. I'm not really a color girl. Well, now I am. But I'm usually I like neutrals, but I'm getting into colors. So like even my eyeshadow today, I love this. You know, normally I wouldn't try that, but I've gotten into stepping out of the box and trying new things. When things feel a little heavy, I get grounded. It's like God has a way of telling you, hey, let's sit down for a second. You're moving too fast. And a lot of times when life gets busy, you get further and further away from your foundation. So it's always, you can feel it. So I think when it gets a little heavy, when it gets too busy, I try to find time to just sit down and be present, because life can go so fast and you're like, whoa, all this has happened and I'm missing it because I'm in real time, but it's just like flying by. So that grounds me. My family grounds me, my friends. I keep a really good circle. Friends who will tell me when I'm wrong, tell me when, hey, take some time for yourself. How are you doing? That make me self-reflect. So I would say family, friends, and just the weight of life are things that ground me. Grinding Pretty is a woman who is about her business, who's not afraid to get her hands dirty, who is not afraid of hard work, and someone who's pretty while doing it. Well, right now I have a movie out, Praise This. It just came out last Friday. Catch it on Peacock. And I am working on some other things I can't really talk about right now, but also Zatima is out, my show with Deval Ellis. It's on BET Plus, and Sisters will be back on TV this summer on BET. Hi, I'm Krista Renee, and thanks for grinding pretty with me.